So I'm shooting the Blackout, the Blackout X5 Envies. They are 400 grain X5 Envies. Oh, for the field tips. So it's dialed in. It's just me. This is the Diamond Edge Max purple. Okay. And firing level horizontally. And my top pin, which is set for 20 yards, is on the target. I'm shooting, you can't see it, but there's a little tiny black dot on target down there where I try to fire to. Anchor, sighting, dot on, horizontal level, or it's vertical level actually. Dot on, boom. I put my bow quiver on, right, because that adds a little bit of weight. This is the Octane. This whole setup here. Ready to hunt, ready to fire. Edge Max by Diamond Archery. Pretty nice bow. They say you can use this from a beginner to advance, and that's what I'm doing. I'm a beginner. Well, not really. I've shot recurve, and my dad bought a recurve bow. I was probably maybe 12, 13. And what's funny is, it's not funny, but when you look back on things, it becomes funny. We were in my grandmother's backyard, and now that I'm firing here, I remember it was about as deep as I am firing here, and we were shooting the bow and arrow. I don't know if there was 2 there or 1 there, but anyway, I remember going to retrieve the arrow, and my late cousin picked up the bow and loaded it, drew back. I'm down range now. He was a dum-dum. He was a dum-dum. Down range, and he was a lot of fun because he was crazy. But anyway, down range, and next thing I know, an arrow came whizzing by my head. Could have been a catastrophe, but it wasn't. I'm still here. Got all my senses sometimes. And those sometimes comes from, you know, just being silly. Now, I'm not a hunter like that, right? This is ready to hunt bow. I'm not a hunter yet. I'm 65 years old. Never been in the woods hunting in my life except for sticks and stones. My son, my number 2 son, he has a hunting channel called Tier 3 Bowman. He's on YouTube. Check him out. Subscribe, like, share. And if you like this, subscribe, like, and share. I'm a beginner, and we're just out here doing what we do, taking a little bit of relaxation, because life stresses you. And because life stresses you, you got to find an outlet for that stress, or it builds up in here, or here, or here. And we wonder why we don't feel well. Well, stress is the reason why we don't feel well. Stress creates illness. This is a King B3 release. As you see, I put the release in the D loop, and all I do is pull the trigger and it releases. Right now it's being held by some kind of a magnetic pole. So I'm pulling on 40 pounds of pressure. As long as I don't touch that trigger, it's not going to release. But as soon as I touch that trigger, after I get set up with my anchor point here on the bottom of my ears, this is how I do it. Some people do it here, some people do it here, but I do it here. I hold here, get my sights in, adjust, fire. My grouping has been pretty good today, and it's about 51, maybe 52 degrees out here, and it's getting a little chilly. So this is about my third round of firing. You see, I got a purple bow. Now, folks, I belong to a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi. My wife loves purple. I like purple. I was looking for a blue bow. Don't have one. I could take this apart, have it taken apart, and then have the riser redone. But I'm not going to do it because purple's good. So I was looking for a gold peep. Didn't find one. I was looking for a blue one. Didn't find one. Came with the black. I got the purple. Now, where I got this, Bass Pro Shop. Nice, good price. Because I'm about 2 hours and 20 minutes from Lancaster. I would have went up to Lancaster because everybody goes to Lancaster, right? And got a different kind of setup. Now, Bass Pro is not a bad place for certain things. It has archery, hunting, but it's not a full archery environment because it only has a certain number of bows that you can purchase. And this being one of them. It was this. You got crossbows. You got crossbows. And I didn't want to get a crossbow, even though nobody knows what's going to happen these days. You can't. I thought you could use a compound bow for defense. There's pros and cons to it. A lot of us seen Sylvester Stallone and Rambo, right? And other movies where they use compound bows and exploding arrows and all that kind of stuff. I'm not into all that yet. I may not ever be into it, but she's dialed in pretty nicely at 20 yards. The next step is to get it out to, I think it's a 50-yard pin. 40 yards, then it's 50 or 60 yards. What I was told is nobody really hunts past 20 yards. 20 yards is the money distance, because if you're going out deer hunting, you don't have you're not close enough where they can smell you, even though they say they can smell you 120 plus yards away, depending on the wind, right? Look at me. Do I look like I'm gonna climb a tree? I haven't climbed using apparatus since the mid 80s, when I was using Westco boots and hooking telephone poles with a spike that, heck, the spike on the Westco boots, you see that tip? That tip is a ½ inch long. That's how much gaff you have to climb a telephone pole. And it hooks in, and you sit your ass back, you hold on and you go. You belt off after you get to a certain point. Now, OSHA says you got to belt off, then climb. And I think OSHA says, really, you can't use the spikes, the gaffing boots, Westco boots and gaffing spikes. You have to have a ladder you have to get to where the spikes are in the telephone pole, and then you have to use your belt, because you belt it off into a belt harness. That's how you do it now for safety. Like anything else, I believe safety first. And if you don't do safety, then you shouldn't be doing anything. Stay in your house and sit in your chair and become a couch potato. Even my kayak, I don't know if you can see it in here, but I have a kayak and a bass boat over there. And you must practice safety. When you're walking outside, you have to look at your environment. Safety. When you take a shower, safety. Make sure the water's not too hot. Make sure there's no bars of soap or slippery floors. No glass around. Safety first. When you practice safety first, lessens your chances of any kind of injuries. Okay, so the Blackout X5 Envy 400 cut to be about 31 inches for me. The calculation shows about 387 grains, right? The 400 is the flexibility on the spine's flexibility, or the flexibility of the arrow itself. So me shooting this, the arrow flies. Now, used to believe that the fletching should be kind of sort of curved to keep the arrow straight, or let it spin as it goes through the air. From what I'm understanding now, an arrow flies straight, just like an airplane. The notch attaches to the string in between the knots on the D-loop. With the odd cap color arrow fletching out. It sits in the basket. It holds the arrow flat and straight. So you no longer have to, old school, they wanted you to put your finger here. But if you put your finger there and you draw back, and that bow's shooting at 29, 30 feet per second, right? That fletching come across your finger and cut you. So now you don't have to hold the arrow. The whisker basket or arrow lift, some lifts have a lever that attached to the drawstring. So when you draw back, this moves and it pulls the lift up and lifts your arrow flat. Then when you release, that moves out the way and the arrow's flying. So you don't have to put your fingers in the way. It's safety first, remember? Always safety first. We attach the release, and it goes on like a glove, and it's a trigger like a gun. So in gun safety, you keep your finger away from the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Same thing with a bow and an arrow. Unless you're using traditional, then you have to set your finger above, one above, two below, two above, one below, or two above, two below, or all four down, and you measure down. And these are the things that I've seen watching. Okay, but on a compound bow, everything is set for you. It's mechanical. So you hold, you draw. You set up, no touching the string. You don't touch the trigger, right? Keeping your finger off the trigger. The peep is your rear sight. The front sight is the three. The front sight is there. The rear sight is here. Keeping your hands away from the trigger, which is that. You get your aim, get your anchor to be steady. You aim, finger off the trigger, aim, trigger. Aim, get the sight on. Once you get the sight on, you fire. Now, form is everything, because what happens is, if you mess your form up with whatever, that's even in the release. If you pull your arm away, the arrow's going to go a certain way. I think that arrow was high and to the left. I can't really see, but I try hard.